Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Good. I'm nervous.
Yeah, I'm nervous, and it's not even like to do with me, really.
I just feel a bit like it's. It's just. Oh, I don't know. It's fine. I'll be fine. I'm just.
Look, I think you've got to give yourself a break. This isn't ideal circumstances. You wouldn't normally be telling her this over a computer. Like, it's the best that we can make this situation to let her know as soon as possible, which I think is the most respectful thing to do.
Yeah. Okay.
I think she needs to know, and I think this is the best way to tell her.
Yeah. So do I.
Have you sent her the link?
Yeah. Yeah. She should
Okay.
be joining us any minute. But I'm. Yeah. I just. Yeah. I agree. I think it's the best. I just.
How's your mum, by the way?
She's okay. Yeah.
Good.
She's better. So that's good. I'm just. She's she's in her bedroom, just like isolating from me, but I just can't.
Can't
Like
even
last night, she was a
imagine.
mess. Last night, like I
Bet
obviously
she
couldn't see
was.
her, but I could hear her like sobbing as she was telling me all that stuff, and I'm just. But
Like the thing is, imagine as awful as this is for her, like imagine the weight off her shoulders when this is done.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely, that's true. That's
She's
really
gonna feel amazing, like after.
yeah, sure. Oh gosh, she's ready. Okay,
Okay, take a deep breath. It's fine. It's fine.
okay,
You're just introducing her to me, and then we'll take it from there.
cool. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Joe. This is my cousin Kelly.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
So I feel really. So my mum came out of hospital.
Oh, that is fantastic news.
Yeah, she's getting better. She's still obviously not 100%, but she's getting there. And that means the last night I had a chance to talk to her about what happened in France, all as a complete story. Because we weren't sure of all the details, and she opened up to me and gave me some quite big news that I wanted to share with you. And my cousin Kelly's been there with me for the whole thing, so I just thought it'd be nice to have somebody else here as well. And she wanted to be here too. So, Mum told me that when this car crash happened, that I thought was the reason she came back, she was actually pregnant. And she then, when the baby was born, had severe postnatal depression. She felt like she'd taken a child from another family, and she didn't know what to do, and she felt like she didn't deserve her own child. So she left. She left France. That's when she left, and left the child with Martin, and the child is you. Yeah. So it's weird. I know it's probably really weird for you to hear that, and like I feel really odd being the one to give you that information, because I feel like I should have spoken to maybe your mum, as in Anna, your mum, before I gave that information. But basically, she told me that when she left, your dad obviously was a single parent, and she was just in a really horrible place. And then about a year later, he met Anna, and they were still in communication, mum and your dad, and they decided, because Anna, well, my mum said that Anna felt like a permanent fixture. They were at this point looking to get married to each other. That Anna would officially adopt you, and they would never tell you that my mum was your real mum, and that they'd raise you to think that they were your parents. And yeah, that's how they wanted to go about it. Mum didn't want to come and disrupt your life because your dad had done such a good job at raising you, and yeah, that's what she told me last night, which is completely unbelievable and a shock, I'm sure. But like,
I think that we really appreciate that it's a lot to hear, and it's also very difficult that you can't talk to your dad about it. But it also, like, knowing this information, not giving it to you didn't feel very comfortable. It felt like you needed to know.
Franchement, I'm very shocked and a little bit angry, to be honest.
I can imagine.
For you to find this out and just decide to completely change my life on a whim without, I mean, did you speak to my mother? I mean,
I didn't.
Judy, to decide to tell you this, and when it is my life and my story.
Yeah.
Honestly, wow. Okay.
I know.
Putain, merde. Like, I mean, you came to me to find out about your mother, and now you are telling me about my mother?
I know. I didn't know how to contact your mother, to contact Anna, because I didn't have any, and I'd have to go through you. And I knew that if I asked for your mum's details, you'd wonder why I was doing that. And I don't know. My mum was so...
Yeah, but, you know, I have a family. My father died 3 years ago, and now you drop this massive... Franchement, je sais même... I don't even know what to say.
I know. I can imagine.
Now in a little bit of shock. I feel like my entire life is a lie. Is basically what you've told me.
No, but yeah.
One of the most important people in my life, who I cannot speak to now, was a liar.
But I think they did it for your...
And I think also, franchement, that Judy could have told me this herself.
I mean...
I do not even know this woman that you are saying is now my mother, my biological.
She wanted to tell you herself. It was me that said I wanted to let you know, because she wouldn't be well enough to talk to you for, you know, maybe a couple of weeks, and I didn't want to hang around. I wanted to be in contact with you because, for all intents and purposes, I know this is weird to you to hear, but you're like my half sister, which is completely mad to me too. Trust me, it's...
But you are not abandoned.
I'm not abandoned. I completely appreciate how horrible that must feel, and I think she was such a mess last night when she was telling me, and she obviously kept it to herself for so many years because she didn't want this to happen. And we looked into it, and maybe that was the wrong thing to do. But
also, I don't think you should. I can completely understand why you feel that you were abandoned. Like, I understand that, but I don't think
it... You don't understand?
No.
How would you understand?
I mean, I can objectively...
I don't know you. I just met you today. This is incredible. This is the most private thing. And I'm not even sure why you're here, to be honest.
Would you feel more comfortable if I left?
No, I mean, putain, merde. Like, now you're here, now you know. I guess...
I'm genuinely just here because I'm trying to support Caleb, who this has all been also a huge shock for, not in the same way, but also I'm here to support him. And also I know my auntie, and I know that she will have done this because she will have seen how happy you were with Martin and Anna, and she wouldn't have wanted to disrupt your life in any way. She would have wanted...
I love my mother.
Of course.
Of course. I had a very, very happy upbringing.
Yeah.
And But now you've changed all of that.
But that doesn't take that. This doesn't take that away from you. You still have a mother in Anna. You still have, Martin was your father, but I'm like, my mum was your biological mother who went through this horrible trauma of being in a car accident that ended up with a little girl being killed, and she just couldn't deal with the consequences of that. By the sounds of it, she was really low before you were born, and then once you'd been born, she just was in such a severe state of depression, by the sounds of it, that I can't even imagine to leave your child and your love of your life. She must have been in such a low place and she's, by the sounds of it, she's always lived with that regret and always lived with that horrible sense of like abandoning you, which is exactly what you're saying. And I just wanted you to know, because I think it was either you knew or you didn't know. And I think personally, it's better that you do know. I'm sorry that if in different times it would have happened face to face, it would have happened hopefully with your mum there and my mum there. Wow, our mum there. And I just think these horrible times made it so much harder, but I just didn't want to keep anything from you. As soon as I found out, I wanted to let you know. And I'm sorry, I'm really sorry that you feel so angry about it, and I understand why you do. I'm not for 1 second saying you shouldn't, but I'm trying to I just wanted you to know.
En vérité, it's not, the anger I feel is not completely towards you, It's not, I understand that you were trying to do what you thought was correct.
And I know I spoke to my mum last night through the door, because she doesn't still want to come anywhere near me and give me this illness. She was sobbing, and she said, and I said to her, do you mind if I tell Joe? And she said, I'd rather tell her herself and myself, but if you feel like she needs to know now, then I can speak to her when I'm able to. But I think she was just completely distraught. She didn't know what to do. Like I say, I don't think anybody knew about this apart from your dad and your mum. Nobody here did. None of my family knew about this secret. She kept it to herself for over 30 years.
I cannot believe my mother never told me this.
No, I think it's difficult for your mother, because if that's what your dad wanted, then I suppose your mother was a bit of a, in my opinion, and you can disagree with me, was, I think, doing a really selfless act in not telling you, because that's what Martin wanted. And she...
Okay, but when I told her that Cal from Wales wanted to know about his mother Judy's time in France, I mean, you would think that she would...
Yeah, well, I think maybe you didn't know, she wasn't necessarily thinking that would come to light, maybe. I don't know. I don't feel like it was her. She might not have felt like it was her place to go, and maybe she just felt it was my mum's place. Or
I think everybody has acted with best intentions, haven't they? And I think everyone's just tried to do what they think is right. And obviously that may not necessarily have been right or how you would have preferred it to go. But I don't think that anybody has acted with any kind of malice. I think everyone has just tried to be as kind as they can.
Look,
so I'm very shocked.
I understand. Do you want, completely, so am I. Do you want us to go and leave you to have some time and think about it?
I think you need a bit of time to...
That's fine. That's completely fine. And then maybe I'll give you a call or a message or something tomorrow, and maybe at some point in the next week, if Mum's feeling up to it, we can arrange some sort of chat between you and her, or...
Yeah.
Again, thank you so much for taking the call, and I'm so sorry that it's been such a massive, I knew it would be, obviously, but I'm sorry to have to do it now as well. I understand that it's a tough time, and I just felt like you needed to know. So,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Cool. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll be in touch in the next, maybe tomorrow or the day after, and I'll just give you some time.
Okay.
Thank you, and thanks, Cal, for being here as well.
It's okay.
Okay. Take care. Thank you. Bye bye. Hi. So that was unexpected, and yeah, quite a lot to deal with, actually. I think that's where we're going to end the story. It just feels like the right place to stop this investigation. We've kind of got to the bottom of what happened, and now I think it's time for me and my family to have just some time to repair and hopefully build some relationships. I'm hoping that Joe will be okay. But yeah, thank you very much for coming on this journey with me, and you never know what's around the corner, do you? Take care, and yeah, until next time, thanks for watching.